I absolutely love making YouTube videos, but sometimes it can be a struggle. I had this whole scene set up where I got out of my truck, I walked down to get Blue, I jumped on him bareback, I rode him back up here, I saddled him, and what I didn't realize is that the whole thing was shot in time lapse. So there's probably like half a second of footage that's usable, and even that half a second of footage is so sped up I don't know if you'll even be able to see what I'm doing, but here it is. Yep, I did it. I don't know why. It just happens to the best of us. But even though we had a little bit of video problems, we are still gonna get Blue worked. We are back in action, and I guess today's video is just gonna be a more raw and real experience, because after that little video mishap, I don't really know what to do for this video, Blue. So here it is, raw and real, training a team roping horse. Let's get it. You might be asking yourself, Barrett, why would you grab your rope when you're not roping today? And let me answer this. Since today's video, is already kind of botched, I figured I would answer a question that I get most often here on this channel. And I had this whole plan of going to a practice and explaining this, but I figured today's already chalked, so we might as well answer this question today, which is, how do you hold your reins when you're roping? Hey, bro. Smokey, you gonna come with us? Now, before I get started answering this question, I have to preface it by saying that everybody does things differently, and this is just my way of holding my reins and my coils. This is just how I was taught and what feels best for me, but it is not, by any means the only way to do it. This is just how I prefer to do it, how I've listened and learned from people who are much better than I am, and this is how they do it, taught me. So let me just preface all of this by saying that. All right, first and foremost, hold on, let me get my life together here. I hope the audio is not too terrible. It's a little bit windy today, but if it is bad, I'll try to fix it in post. So first and foremost, all right, bro, you gotta go to the left. First and foremost, I always have 4 coils in my hands, whether I'm doctoring cattle or roping. I always like to have 4 coils in my hands and try to keep them as uniformed as possible. Second thing I have to say is that a lot of people that I've seen, especially lower numbers, not so much in the higher numbers, but more in the lower numbers where I am, sometimes when they rope, instead of having their coils kind of pointed straight, they like to kind of turn them like this. Well, that's okay if you're not going to drop a coil, which a lot of guys aren't, but if you need to drop a coil, it's hard for these coils to come out correctly when they're turned to the side like this. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to be running and having your coils faced the same direction that you're planning on throwing. Like if that electric box, Blue, if that electric box is the steer, you don't want to be having your coils like this. You want to be having your coils like that, so that if you do need to throw and let coils out, they all go out straight and not kind of get messed up going to the side. Ooh, a little spooky Blue. Oh, got the other ponies over there. What's going on, ponies? All right, the next thing that we need to talk about is how to actually hold your reins when you're coiled. Oh, Blue, give me a second. Oh. A lot of people, and I did this when I first started, just take and lay them over in their hand like this, right? Which is not terrible, but if you kind of get jostled around a little bit, you might just lose a lot of your reins, okay? So it's kind of hard to hold on, but it is very common just to get them fairly even and then just kind of loop them over in your palm like that, which is not bad. It's not a terrible thing. What I like to do is I go up and I actually will take this rein, this right rein, and put it in between my ring finger and my pinky, and then this one lays over. And the reason that I like doing that is because, number one, you can have a really firm grip with these two fingers right here, and if you hold on tight, you're not gonna let go, okay? It's not gonna come out. The other part about it is when you're going across the pin and you gotta steer and tow, okay? You're gonna be kind of side passing and getting over to the left, right? But then when you want your horse to face, all you have to do is drop this, hold on to this, and bam, right there you're facing, okay? It's much easier to face like that because you're essentially letting this left rein slide while holding on to the right, okay? And all you have to do is hold on to that right rein and you're facing. Much easier. It's a much easier process when you're going, you know, Mach 10. And yes, I have watched Top Gun Maverick like 4 times in the past few days, so that reference is pertinent. But that's the simplest way that I found it, right? You've got your reins, okay? Right rein is in between your ring finger and your pinky. That way, when you go to face, you can let this one go. Well, reins are all messed up now. But all you got to do is let this one go. Right spur, right rein, and bada bing, we're facing, okay? That's a very simple, very generic way to say that. It's more complex than that, but that's probably the easiest way that I can describe that, is being able to not only have full control of your reins and never let them slip out, because even if you were to slip all the way, I've still got something in my hands. If you've got this, and somehow you just lose your reins, they're just gone. So at least this is kind of like an emergency. If they were to all fall out, you've at least kind of got something to hold on to. Plus the fact that it's easier to face, it's easier to get your horse's right side if you need to face in a hurry. So I hope that helps. I hope that it explains a little bit better. If you have any questions, obviously shoot me a comment, but I just wanted to kind of explain that because I get that question a lot, and as a beginner, I think sometimes people just want to throw those reins, just kind of double them up, put them in their hand across their palm, and then have the coils in there as well. And the coils are a different story as far as where they're pointed, but I think it's a very amateur thing to do, which is okay. But as you get better and better, you want to start doing things in a more precise, a more effective manner. And I think that having your coils pointed straight out, having your reins set up in a manner that, you know, if something goes wrong, you still have you still have control of your horse, and then you also have an ability to, you know, I mean, facing can really dictate your placement in a roping. And if you've got a poor face or a slow face, it really will start to hurt you. I mean, you could have a half a second or a second just trying to get faced and tight. So if you need to get a hold of that right side and pull their nose over and move their hind end backwards and have them starting to back up and get everything nice and tight, that can really save you in a run. So I hope that helps. Hope everything is starting to get better with you guys. Hope everybody's progressing. I'm so ready. I think we're going to be going to a team roping practice this week. Stay tuned for that. I'm so ready to get back into making some runs, back into the box, and making some runs happen. I'm glad Blue is back in working order. Hope you guys found this video interesting. If you did, go ahead and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like this video, share it with a friend if possible. And yeah, we've got plenty more team roping, horse training, everything in between. So you guys stay tuned.